Good morning in the morning. It's still morning, y'all. I thought I'd surprise you today. I got a bunch of work to do out in the yard, but I wanted to get on here and just take a coffee break this morning before I get outside and start working, and just have a coffee break and chat with everybody. I'm looking for my live here so I can read the chat. Yeah, we got rain all day yesterday. It's so wet out there this morning. I wanted to wait till things dried off a little bit before I got out there and started working. Plus the fact that I got to get rid of some ants because I got ant bit yesterday real bad. That is, if I can find my live. Where is it? Here it is. I wanted to get on here, but I don't want to be signed in, so they'll say I'm watching my video to get views. Looks like we got 3 watching. Yeah, a lot of people say they like to they like the way I did my videos in the beginning, where sometimes in the morning I just sit down and talk with everybody, and just drink a cup of coffee and enjoy the morning before I got started doing anything. And I know it's almost, the middle of the day. It's almost lunchtime, but it's still morning. It's not quite 11:30 yet. So I thought I'd get on here and just see how many people were available, see how many people would come on and chat with me, and just have a coffee break, y'all. Now, you can have a Coke break, you can have an iced tea break, it don't matter. Just take a break from the day. And there goes Mayim Mask. I'm just fine, Mayim. Like I said, I wanted to get on here and take a break because I've got a lot of work to do in the yard, in the rock garden. I started on it late yesterday evening, and I worked till it got dark on me. And I got to put some ant poison out there because I got ant bites on me from yesterday. Because I'm trying to move some planter pots that were in the rock garden out there. That's where the tree's dead. You know, the tree just died. So I wanted to get those 3 pots moved. I got 2 of them moved yesterday, and I still got 1 to go. But the ants kept biting me, and it was so dark I couldn't see them. So I decided, well, I'll call it a day and come in and I'll tackle it today when I can see what I'm doing out there, and I can actually see where the ants are. We got Linda Blaylock. Nahum is with us. You miss me? Well, I miss my subscribers. I guess that's why I decided to go live today. So we could just sit and talk and have a cup of coffee, y'all. Just sit and talk and have a cup of coffee. Get everything situated here so you can see what I'm doing. Well, I wanted to show my fall decorations back there because that's the only thing I got up right now. I don't think I'm going to put anything up for fall until Christmas. And then I might start working on Christmas stuff, which, you know, it's time to get started on that too. Because I've got so much stuff that I put out. It takes me forever to get it out. And it takes me a long time to get it all put up. Yeah, hi Linda. How are you doing today? I thought about going live working in the rock garden, but it's so hard trying to move the camera around. Because sometimes I forget the camera's there. I get so busy doing what I'm working on that I move out of the camera view and I don't realize it, and I forget to move the camera. So I'm making sweet potatoes and collards right now. Oh, good for you. I've got some more collard plants I got to get transplanted too. But it started raining on me yesterday when I was transplanting a bunch of them, so I had to stop. And then it quit raining later on in the afternoon or toward evening, and I started work on the rock garden, moving those pots, and I still got one more to do. But like I said, the ants were in it, and the ants were eating me alive, so I decided I'd wait till today. And there's Donna. Good morning, Donna. I'm doing great. I've got a few ant bites on my arms and hands, but other than that, I'm fine. I mean, you can't see them, but yeah, I've got ant bites. Run there, right there. I've got them here. Look at this. Ant bite, y'all. So I decided to come in and call it a day. I'll get out there today, and I even got one on my elbow right there. And you know, those are those great big old red ants, and they hurt. And they swell up like crazy and make a little blister. And then they itch for days. So I'm going to go out there and spray with some spray around it where I can see where I'm spraying and get rid of them before I try to move that other pot. Yeah, I kind of like Trump too, but we don't like to get into politics other than just make sure everybody votes. That's the most important thing, is just make sure you vote. And I voted last week, so I've got that over with. Yeah, I had gloves on, and the gloves come past my wrist, but the ants were getting down inside my gloves, biting me, and oh, I was having a time. They didn't actually get me on my hands, but they sure got me on my wrist. So I don't want to get any more of them today. At least I'll be able to see them today, hopefully. Yeah, ants are not fun, and that's something we got plenty of in Texas, is those old red fire ants. Oh, and they hurt. Yes, they're very annoying. I spray constantly. I put out ant granules. I put out this borax with sugar that does get rid of them, but you can't get them all. I mean, seem like they come back as fast as you kill. I mean, you kill these over here and you got another hill over here. You get rid of those and you got another one over there. You just can't get rid of all of them. Yeah, it seems like they are more aggressive today than they used to be. And on this rock mountain, they live down in the rocks. Oh my gosh. And when it rains, a lot of them come up because their tunnels get water in them. And all of a sudden, ant hills pop up everywhere. So there's no way you can get rid of them. You can just kind of keep them down. You can spray around your house and put granules out and keep them from coming in the house most of the time. But you can't keep them out of the yard. I mean, I could put out ant poison and granules every single day and I'd still have ants. We had heavy rain here. Yeah, we had heavy rain yesterday. We're supposed to get more tomorrow, but it's supposed to be kind of fair today. But we are supposed to get more, I think, tomorrow, the next day, and the day after that. Maybe right on, off and on through the weekend. Which I'm not complaining. We need the rain, but I wish these ants would go somewhere else. Y'all can have the ants. I don't want them. The only problem is nobody else wants them either. It stormed some yesterday, and we had tornado warnings all day long, off and on. I mean, they kept calling my phone, issuing the warning, the tornado warning, and the sky was looking real funky. But we didn't get hit by a tornado, thank God. If there was tornadoes, it was out around me. It was not here. The wind got up a little bit at one time, but then it kind of settled down. But it rained pretty hard. And like I said, I'll take the rain. I mean, we need that. Yeah, I live on a mountain too. I'm at the top of the mountain. So all the rainwater and everything goes down below me. It doesn't stay up here. I mean, it makes it bad because you can't keep anything watered because the water just drains out as fast as it rains almost. But it's a good thing that I don't get flooded up here, because this whole county would have to be flooded and underwater for my yard to be flooded. Everything else would be underwater. And that's one reason I like staying here, because I know I'm not going to get flooded. There's no way. Not on top of this mountain, I won't. Y'all get you a cup of coffee. I'm on my second pint of coffee this morning. This is that Maui Hawaiian gourmet coffee that April sent me. The other was flavored. It had like vanilla and macadamia nut, and I forgot what the other one was. But this one is just a regular ground coffee, but it's gourmet coffee. Tastes pretty good. So she's spoiling me with this Hawaiian coffee. Yeah, I've seen some videos since yesterday where some people got a little bit of destruction from wind and rain and all that, but it was nowhere near here. So I feel fortunate. Yeah, I thought I'd come on here and just go live, drink my cup of coffee, and then I'll get out there and put my work, or I'll get my work clothes on, and I'll get out there and start working, moving that last pot from around that tree, because I'm going to have to start cutting that tree down. The limbs are already like dropping down, and they hit my head when I walk around the tree. I pulled one down yesterday. It was hitting me in the head, so I reached up and I grabbed it and pulled it down, and it just popped right off. That's how dry it was. And I was trying to think of why the tree was dying. And I remember now, and I think that's why the 2 cedar trees died on the other side, on the other lot that we cut down, is because I used to run my washing machine water out to that garden, that rock garden, and it kept that tree watered. Every time I washed clothes, it would dump a couple of washing machine full of water in that garden, and it kept that tree watered. Well, I moved the drain line, and I moved it back toward where the garden is, and the tree died. And I know that's what it was, because it didn't get all that water anymore. But my favorite neighbor started complaining about the drain line being out there, trying to claim I was draining sewage water out there. Well, it's not sewage water. All it was washing machine water. And you can do that. You can run washing machine water in your yard, water your plants or whatever you want to water with it. It's considered gray water. There's nothing wrong with it. But this particular neighbor's a busybody. Can't stay out of other people's business. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Get on a better subject, better topic. Yeah, since those moonflowers have died down, and they'll come back up next year. They come back up from the roots and the seeds that they dropped, and they've dropped a ton of seeds. So I'll have plenty of moonflowers come back up next year, or I should. But I need to get rid of that dead tree somehow. And I may leave part of it just as like a planter stand and put a big pot on top of it and plant something in it. I don't know. Depends on how I can get it cut down. Because, it's like 8 trees all in a clump, and they grew up together, and it almost looks like one big tree when there's about 8 trunks all together at the bottom. So we'll see what I can do with it. I know, Donna. I worked so hard yesterday, I don't even want to get back out there today, but I know the stuff I got to do. So I'll get out there pretty soon. When I finish my coffee and drum up enough courage to get out there and start tackling it all again. Too lazy technology is such a pill. Snow White says she went to vote, and that's all I'll say. Yeah, I voted last week. I got it out of the way the first week of voting, so. Because I kept forgetting it then, it was like Wednesday before I went. And I was going to go Monday last week. And I'd get busy doing one thing or another, and then I realized, oh no, I didn't go vote today. So I made it a point that Wednesday morning, I went and voted before I did anything else. I had my cup of coffee, and then I went and voted, and then I came home and started in on my other stuff. But I got voting out of the way. Yeah, that's something everybody needs to do, is go vote. I mean, you may not want to vote for either candidate, but at least vote against the one that you really don't want. Glad political ads will be over, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was always told going up. You may not want to vote for either one of the candidates, but at least vote for the one that you'd rather have than the one you don't want. Because if you don't vote at all, then the chances of that person that you really don't want to be in office gets elected. So at least vote for the least, or not the least one, but the one that you'd rather have over the one you don't want. Snow White, how's the weather in your neck of the woods? Yeah, and some people said I needed to go live earlier in the day because of the hour, the time change in the different locations, that they would come to more lives if I was earlier in the day, that they couldn't make it in the evening, at my 7 p.m. Central Time. Or sometimes they couldn't make it at 3 p.m. on Sunday. Cold, oh yeah. Well, it's like 65 degrees here today, so it's not cold. It's not steaming hot, but it's not cold either. It's comfortable to me, for it to be around 65. Oh no, I wouldn't want that to happen, Linda Blaylock. I would not want Camilla to be vice president or president. I think we would be in bad problems, bad trouble, if she got any office. Put it this way, vote for the one that's the lesser evil. Or the one you think is the lesser evil. At least the sun is shining today. Trying to anyway. It was kind of cloudy when I first got up, but then the sun came out. So it's going to be a decent day today, even though we'll get more rain tomorrow. We're supposed to. So the rain we got yesterday, I'll have all day today to soak in before we get more. Trying here too. Well, what have you folks got planned for today? Anything outrageous? You got any outrageous plans today? I realized why my revenue was down this past month, even though I got a lot of views. And it's because you have to subscribe to the channel and you've got to be signed in for your view to count. If you're just watching a video somewhere and you're not signed into the account, then the view doesn't matter. And I was getting 4,000 and 5,000 views on some of my videos, my lives, but it wasn't counted, which I think sucks. It should count whether you're signed in or not. Same old, Donna. Yeah, I said right now was the best time to do whatever I'm going to do in that rock garden with that dead tree in the middle, is after all the plants died back for the winter. Linda, you are so multi-talented. I'm scared when you get on the ladder. I've got to buy me a new ladder. That one is getting kind of rickety. No, it does not cost to subscribe, Tamara. You can have a YouTube account. You can have a channel. You can sign in every time, subscribe to my channel, and it does not cost anything. You just have to have a Google account, and that doesn't cost anything either. So you can subscribe, you can, fix your own account on Google, sign in anytime you want, subscribe to any channels, and it does not cost anything. That's the reason I told people, I said, I'm not asking people to send me money. You like Russia? Why not? I mean, I don't have anything against Russia. I mean, I don't like some of the things some of the countries do as far as fighting one another, but I personally don't have anything against Russia. Don't have anything against Iran or China, any of these countries. I may not agree with some of the things they do, but well, I'm sure you're subscribed, Tamara, because you got to be subscribed to get into live chat. If you're not subscribed and you try to get into live chat, it'll give you the message that you got to subscribe. And it's set on subscribers only right now. So anybody that's in the chat, the live chat right now, you're subscribed to the channel. I mean, sometimes I forget to set the settings on subscribers only, and just anybody comes into chat, and then you don't have to subscribe or anything and you're in chat, but it doesn't count. And that's when I get a lot of trolls coming in, leaving all the bad remarks. So I try to remember when I set up a live to set it on subscribers only. So anytime it's set on subscribers only and you're in my live chat, you're subscribed to the channel, or it would not let you in the chat. Yeah, it is confusing, Tamara. Have any of y'all planted a fall garden? I don't know about the advice. I don't know about the cooking. If you tasted some of my cooking, you may not think so. But for the most part, it's okay, I guess. My fur babies have been fed. They're out there sleeping somewhere. They got their bellies full, so it's nap time for them. I'm working remote, not too shabby. Well, good for you, Tamara. We got 23 people watching. That's not too bad for just a spur of the moment live to pop up. Will play me a song. I can't do that. They don't monetize my channel or my video if I play music. They'll copyright my video and I don't get paid for my video. Well, that's all the coffee for today. I downed that one. I'm not making any more. Yeah, it would have been so nice to be able to, that company that I worked with in Fort Worth, instead of having to drive to work every day, it took me an hour to get there, an hour to get home. And I did it for, I don't know, around 9 years, something like that. And it was a job I could have done from home. It was phone sales calls, where I sold advertising and ad space and actually did the ad layouts for the companies. And I could have done that from home, but they would not let people work from home at that particular time because you were paid hourly, and I guess there was no way that you could literally clock in at home and show that you were actually working all that time. So they would not let you work remotely. I mean, I think after I quit, they did let one of the managers work remotely. And somehow they worked it out to pay him for what he did, by his sales and his ads and that type of thing. I said, well, man, I wish they would have let me do that. It would have saved me 2 hours a day of traveling time. Oh, I don't ever plan my trips, my fishing trips. I don't ever plan them. I just go at the spur of the moment. Like if I felt like it this afternoon and decided I was going to go fishing, I'd just go fishing. I don't plan it out, because usually if I plan to do something, it don't happen. My plans get changed, so I don't usually plan it. But I do need to go. I need to go fishing. But I got so much to do, y'all. I've enlarged the garden some, and plus the yard work. I've got so much to do, I feel like I can't take the couple of hours to go fishing that I need to take, so. Yeah, working remotely is nice. You don't have to get out in that traffic. You don't have to spend hours getting back and forth to work. You don't have to get up the extra time early in the morning to travel. I mean, there's downfalls to working at home, just like with me, working with YouTube, because most of my stuff is done at home, or if I take you on a trip, around with me. But usually it's from home, in the garden, or in the house. And there's kind of downfalls to that, because I fall guilty of spending too much time with my videos and all that kind of stuff, and not enough time cleaning house and doing housework and stuff like that. I do plenty of cooking. I do plenty of gardening. I do plenty of yard work. But I got to do housework too, and that kind of falls behind sometimes. But I'm here by myself, so I try to pick up behind myself so the place don't get too bad. But my kitchen stays a mess all the time, because like I had all my canning stuff out. I had all my stuff out this morning doing a breakfast video that you'll see probably tomorrow. And I washed dishes. I didn't wash my dishes last night, so I got up with a sink full of dirty dishes this morning. So I washed them up, and now I've still got another sink full of dirty dishes because of the video that I did earlier. So it's a never-ending story, y'all. Yeah, we had to dress business-like on my job when I worked in Fort Worth. And I didn't mind doing that, but it gets old after a while. And it seems so good to be able to stay home and just work in your pajamas if you want to. Just lounge around in your pajamas or sweatpants. Yeah, and I've got some people that they only seem to want to watch the cooking videos. They don't realize my whole channel is stuff too. And they get upset with me because I'm not producing a cooking video every time. I said, well, I've got other stuff that goes with my channel that I need to do. So sometimes they won't watch the gardening videos, but they'll watch every one of the cooking videos. And then sometimes even complain about the cooking videos because I'm taking too long to do it, or I'm taking too long to cook it. I need to cut that part out. And I said, well, you can fast forward. Well, if we fast forward, we'll miss something. I thought to myself, well, if I cut part of the video out, you're definitely going to miss something then. So I gave up, and I said, finally, I'm just going to do my videos the best I can. If they want to watch them, they watch them. And if they don't want to watch them, go watch something else. I can't help it. I'm not going to drive myself crazy trying to please everybody. Too many runs in my pantyhose. I feel you. I remember those times. It's been many years since I've even wore pantyhose. Yeah, and I got to get back to doing my floors because I haven't finished. I've just been putting it off because it was too hot. The weather was just too hot to mess with it. Because I've still got the living room to do, the kitchen, and one more bathroom to do. And another bedroom. I've done two bedrooms I've done, one bathroom, the hallway, and that's pretty much it. I've got about half the house done. And I want to build another cabinet for the kitchen. If I had my cabinet up right now, I'd have somewhere to put all my canning stuff. Because I plan to have shelves at the top to where I can put my jars of my canning stuff that I just got through working with until I sell it or give it away or consume it or something. And there's Ann. Good morning, Ann. How are you feeling today? Keep doing what you're doing. Well, that's what I intend to do. That's all I know to do is just do what I'm doing. Something seems to work sometimes, so. Yeah, it was getting too hot, even in the house, in the heat of the summer, to try to keep doing the floors. Because I had to run in and out all the time, cutting the wood and bringing it in and all that. So I just decided to wait till cooler weather and then maybe try to tackle more of it. But like I said, I've got another cabinet I got to build to go in here, and I'll get this little cart out of the kitchen that I've got my dehydrator sitting on. It's just a push cart. It's got two shelves at the bottom, and then the top shelf is where my dehydrator is sitting. I want to build a cabinet there. Have the cabinet at the bottom and then shelves at the top, kind of like a hutch. And I'll put canning jars on the top shelves. Or that's what my intention is. I don't know if I'll ever get to it or not. Yeah, and I've been doing the floors by myself, so it's even harder when you got to move furniture, and you got to keep the furniture in the house. I can't move it outside in case it rains, because I can't get done in just one day. And my living room is full of furniture, so I don't know where I'm going to have to do half the floor at a time, I guess, and then climb over furniture. And then move it back over on the other half and do the other half of the floor. And then finally, when I get it all done, I can move my furniture back. So it makes it a mess when you're living in a house and you're trying to do the work in that same house. Especially doing floors. Because, I've got to put the wood down. And then I got to put the sealer on, or the stain. I'm not really going to put stain. I'm going to do it like I did the rest of the house. I'm going to put the wood down, and then I'm going to put a coat, like a vinyl coat on top. But it takes several coats of that stuff, so, and then it takes time to dry before you can move the furniture back on it. So, I just keep putting it off. Yeah, my floor was fine until the commode started leaking, or the water line to the commode in that spare bedroom. And it was leaking for quite a while before I even knew it was leaking. So it got down in the floor, and it ruined the floor underneath, and then it come out into the bedroom under the floor and started messing up the floor around the little wall to the bathroom. So therefore, I had to not only fix the bathroom floor, but I had to redo the bedroom floor too. If it'd been actual wood down the first time, it wouldn't have done that. But that particle board, or whatever they call it, when it gets wet, it swells up, and then it just comes apart almost like cardboard. It sags, and that's what happened to the floor. I mean, these floors in here are fine. I mean, they're not sagging, they're not drooping or anything, but I had the whole floor ripped out. They put down a subfloor, and now I need to come back and put the top floor on and make the whole floor and throughout the whole house level. But I've just been putting it off. I've done my roof, Linda. Linda Blaylock, I've done my roof years ago. Every year I'd get up there and I'd tar the whole roof just so it would not leak. You know, tar it with that roofing tar. You mop it on and it gets all down in the cracks and everything, and it keeps your roof from leaking. Well, I got tired of going up there because one time I went up there and I was up there on an extension ladder. It was an aluminum ladder, and a really hard gust of wind come through, and it knocked my ladder off the roof, y'all. Here I am up on the roof and no way to get down. And there was no neighbors around. You couldn't yell loud enough for anybody to hear you. That was before people started moving in out here. So finally I sat there and got up enough courage. I said, well, I got to get down. And I worked my way to the edge of the roof. And I turned my body over the edge of the roof and dropped my legs down. And finally I just held on with my hands like this on the corner of the roof, and my whole body was dropped down, and I was just hanging there. I said, well, maybe it's only a couple of feet to the ground. Maybe I can just drop and I'm not going to get hurt. And that's what I had to do. I just had to finally let go, drop. And I was okay. I didn't get hurt. Didn't break any bones. But I said, I don't want to get up there again unless somebody's here, or at least I could secure that ladder to the roof so the wind couldn't blow it off. And I think I did get back up there one more time after that, and I tarred the roof. But it seemed like I had tied something on the ladder to where, you know, it couldn't blow off and completely go away. But then I said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. My roof didn't leak, but I went ahead and put a steel roof on anyway. I had the whole house re-roofed. So I don't have to go up there and put roofing tar on it anymore. Well, yeah, I do the things I enjoy the most, which is gardening and cooking. But all this other stuff, you know, comes up, and I'm the only one here. So if I don't do it, it don't get done. And these other people charge so much that I can't afford to pay people to come here and do everything for me. I mean, I can't afford that. You know, like I said, I re-roofed it. I don't worry about it now. I don't have to get up there and tar it every year, which is a good thing. My mobile home is 1969. It's over 50 years old, y'all. But I've kept it in good shape. I used to could find people that would come here and do some of the repairs for me. And then it got so I didn't have repair people around me, except the ones that want to charge you $600 just to come to your door. And I couldn't afford them. So I started doing things myself. Yeah, it's a relic, Linda. My house is definitely a relic. Well, I had bought 2 lots that went with the house originally. And then I bought the one lot on the other side of me. Because years ago, when my kids still lived at home, I had intentions of trying to build a house. And that way I had plenty of room on each side of the house. But that never come to be, so. My kids are grown. They've got their own homes now. And I don't know if I'd ever be able to build one myself, so. I'm still here. Well, one of the people out here told me, you're smart to stay where you're at, because especially the way they charge taxes on these new homes. I know I was talking with a technician one time when I went in to get blood drawn, and she was really upset that day. And so I asked her, I said, you seem like you're awfully upset. She said, I am. I got my tax bill in the mail. I said, oh my goodness, I know that can't be good. She said, no, it's not. I got a tax bill of $12,000 that I've got to pay for just 1 year. And there's my phone. And then I got to thinking, I said, well, if she's paying $12,000 a year for taxes, property tax, she must have a $500,000 or more home, $600,000 home. But, you know, if you're going to have an expensive house, you got to be ready to pay the taxes on it. I couldn't afford to pay $12,000 a year just in taxes and then make your house payments on top of it. And there's no way. I know, 'cause nowadays, oh my God. I called a plumber one time about a year or so ago just to fix the drain in my tub. They wanted $600 just before they even looked at it. They said it's going to cost $600 just to come out, and then it may cost more than that before we can get it all fixed. I said, I don't think so. I said, I can't afford that. I could just about rebuild my whole bathroom for what they wanted to fix the tub. Yeah, it's 3 bedrooms, bath and a half, living room and kitchen. And I've got way too much stuff in here. You know, when you live in a place for 50 years or 45 years, you have a tendency to accumulate things. And I've accumulated a lot of stuff. But every time I want to get rid of something, I said, well, now if I get rid of this, I'll have to buy it again to use it the next time I need it. So then I don't get rid of it. Yeah, and I'd hate to know I had a great big house to have to clean. This one's a job enough. I mean, it'd be so nice if everything here was new. You know, and it didn't need repairs. And it looked nice. You move into a new house, everything is clean. So you don't have a lot of deep cleaning to do in the beginning. I mean, years later you will. Ann says she lives in a big house. It's old. It was built in 1940. Well, good for you. I got my car renewal thing, car tag renewal thing yesterday. And I usually wait until December before I renew, because it expires in December. And I want it to have December date on the sticker. I'm not going to give them a month, you know. If I do it this month, then I lose a month on my sticker, so I'll wait till next month and then go do it. And your house is 84 years old. Your house is definitely an antique. And there's homes here in Granbury that are that old and older. And they've been, you know, basically restored and upkept really well, and they look real good. But the way they're built the old-timey style. And they're really pretty. Yeah, I need to go through clothes and get rid of some clothes. And one reason I don't is because I do sell stuff on Poshmark. And now I got closets stored with clothes that I put on Poshmark for sale. You know, to sell. So it's like, well, now I can't get rid of all that stuff because sooner or later it probably will sell. So I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, Victorian. Those are such pretty homes too, the Victorian style. Linda Blaylock says, I'm saving my junk. I may need to barter someday. You can always have a yard sale too. They've got it so now you got to notify the board of directors if you're going to have a yard sale. And years ago, you just had a yard sale. You didn't have to notify anybody that you were going to have a yard sale. You just put your signs up and had one. That phone, I got to get rid of that phone. Like I said, you know, I put like used clothes, shoes, some new stuff on Poshmark to sell. And some of it's been on there for a while, but then every once in a while I turn around and look and something sold that I didn't think was going to sell. So I don't sell it fast, but sooner or later it sells and I'll put something else up. And you got to have somewhere to store that stuff, you know, before you sell it. And it's getting bad. I got one bedroom full of stuff that subscribers have sent me that I can't, you know, I've got to store somewhere before I can use it. And the stuff I put on Poshmark is in that same room. So I'm basically using that room as a storeroom right now. We have several Victorian style homes still in my hometown. They tore down a lot of them, which was a shame because I thought they were so pretty. But they said they weren't practical anymore. The heating was so bad. You know, it was so expensive to keep them heated or cooled because they're not insulated well. I thought to myself, well, as big as those homes was, it looks to me like you could insulate them somehow. Take some money and refurbish them, insulate them, and all that to where it wouldn't cost so much to heat and cool them, and they'd still be nice homes. There was one, like a Mexican style home that was there. It had that adobe on the outside, and it was kind of a, almost like a burnt orange color on the outside, not real dark, almost a pumpkin color, but darker. And they tore it down. The only one in the whole town that was that style. And I told my mom, I said, that was such a shame to just tear that house down. I said, that would have been so neat to be restored. But not many people in my town are going into restoring old homes. They just tear them down and build new. Okay, Linda, you have a blessed day. We'll see you next time. I knit some, or crochet. I crocheted my bedspread on my bed, which took me forever. I've started more, but I've not finished them. I've knitted two kind of like sweaters, but I hardly ever wear them because usually it's too hot to wear them. Yeah, you've insulated your place. That was a good deal. It makes a big difference when you insulate one. It makes a big difference just putting the second floor down in this house. It's helped tremendously with heating and cooling. You'd be surprised. With just the heat and the cold air you lose through your floor. So for that reason, I can't wait to get the rest of it done. But I've got to raise the stove up to be able to slide wood under that. And I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know. And I forgot to turn my notifications off on my camera. Yeah, I told my son if I knew how I'm going to do that and could get it done, I could go ahead and do the rest of the floor. Because I said I may even have a new refrigerator put in. That way they'll have to take the old one out. I can put the floor down, and then they'll put the new one in on top of the floor. And they can just set the old one out on the back patio, and if I wanted to, I could still use it out there. Because it still works, it just doesn't look so good. And I do need to move it to get the wood underneath the floor of it. And it's not going to be easy because that is a heavy, heavy refrigerator. It's the old style refrigerators. And those things are heavy. But they last forever. That refrigerator is the original refrigerator that was put in this house when they built this little thing. So that refrigerator is over 40 years old. And it still works fine. The seals around the doors aren't too good. And if I knew how to replace those, or if you could, I would. But I don't know that you could replace them properly. So I don't worry about it. And it's not frost free, so you got to defrost it every once in a while. And then I realized, even on these travel trailers, they have refrigerators in them that you've got to defrost. All of these in these camper trailers and all that, they're not frost-free refrigerators. They're the old style refrigerator that has to be defrosted if you have a little freezer in it. Because they last longer. They hold up better. I mean, I don't know why the frost-free ones don't last as long, but they don't. My mom used to knit all the time, Catherine. She made all kinds of stuff, crocheting and knitting. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I guess I need to go get busy. My coffee break's over. Make it last. Older appliances are the best. I know. And I had a repairman out here one day years ago because it quit working. So I got a guy in here to check it. And he asked me, he said, "You got a vacuum cleaner with a wand that I can stick under the refrigerator?" I said, "Yeah." I went and got it. And he vacuumed under it. And he flipped some kind of little switch behind the motor because he knew where it was. I didn't. I didn't even know it had a switch on it. And it started running, and it's run ever since. He said, "This refrigerator will run until the whole cabinet falls apart." And he said, "That thing will still be running." So that's why it's still here. I've even painted it. I painted it with, I painted it. It looks like a stainless steel refrigerator because I painted it with that silver gray paint because the cabinet started rusting on the refrigerator. The door did. So I said, "Well, I need to get rid of it or paint it or do something." So I said, "Well, I'm going to try painting it." So I got some of that aluminum paint. I painted it. And it looked pretty good, so I've kept it. It looks better than it did. And then, too, I said, I'll paint it, see how I like the color from my kitchen to go with everything else. Because I almost got a black one time. They had one on sale, and it was black. A refrigerator with a little freezer up top. But then I decided not to get the black. Because I said I don't need anything in here to make it darker. I need something to make it lighter in color. So I said it would either be the aluminum color or it would be white. So I painted it the aluminum color, and I like it. So I won't be afraid to buy an aluminum refrigerator. You know, the stainless steel look when I buy one, if I ever do. That refrigerator's liable to outlast me. But you know, remember years ago when my mom was still alive, she went through, I don't know how many refrigerators. And they were good refrigerators too. But they'd last maybe 10, 15 years and then they'd quit running. And she'd have to replace them. And then when she was elderly, she really couldn't afford to buy a new refrigerator. So one of the family members said, "Well, we've got one out in the shed that we're not using, and it works fine. It's an older one, and it's been painted, just like mine, it was painted a silver color to make it look stainless steel. And they moved it in my mom's kitchen, and it was working like a dream." She said, "Well, I'm not buying a new one if this one will work." So they put it in there, and that's what she was using right on up till she died. It's nice having auto defrost and on wheels. Yeah, it'd be nice because mine's not on wheels. You can't move it unless you pick it up. You can't drag it across the floor. And it's heavy. It would take a couple of guys to move it with a dolly or whatever you call those things. And then it's going to be hard because there's a built-in cabinet right above it that's only like that far above the refrigerator top. So it doesn't give you much moving around room. And then it's got that much room on either side because it's set into the cabinets. So it's going to be a job getting it out of there. And if it was on wheels, it would be easy. If y'all hear that thing going off, You'll just have to ignore it. I'm sorry, I forgot to change the notifications and put it on the off setting. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's the dot on the camera lens. I thought there was something in my picture that I didn't know what was there. I realize what it is now. Yeah, my refrigerator or stove is on wheels. Sometimes I wish the stove was on wheels. Because if it was, I could pull it out real easy, put the floor under it, and then push it right back. And it's a new stove. I just bought it a couple of years ago. I just bought a brand new stove because the other one looked so bad that you couldn't clean it for it to look good. It was rusted and looked really bad. So I got rid of it. And it took ever to find one that would work in here the way this one does. Because it's built into the counter and everything. So I didn't really get the one I got the one that has a Western look and it fits the space. It's not anything fancy, but it works. It's a stove. It's white trimmed in the black, which is a Western style. And this whole house is a Western, kind of a Western theme. Yeah, not many people crochet or knit anymore. I started doing it back when I had my neck and back surgery because I needed to do something with my fingers for exercising, you know. So I started doing the crocheting. Yeah, they don't, even the Singer sewing machines, they did a recall on sewing machines many years ago because they built those machines to last. If you bought a sewing machine from Singer years ago, it lasted you a lifetime plus. You could leave it to your daughter and then she could leave it to her daughter. That's how long those sewing machines last. They lasted so long, they did a recall on them because they can't have anything out on the market that lasted forever. And then they made the newer machines to where they don't last a lifetime like the old ones did because they had to ensure that Singer would have sales. They'd be able to sell their product. And if you put a sewing machine in every household that's going to last a lifetime plus some, you're not going to get the sales. And I couldn't believe it when I found that out. They did a recall on sewing machines to pull back all the ones that would last a lifetime. Isn't that something? So they build things today that don't last. They build them so you have to replace them eventually. That ensures that company's sales in the future. Because if they build everything to last, they'd pretty soon go out of business because they didn't have any sales left. Exactly. Not many people know how to crochet and knit anymore. There's a lot of things like that's beginning to be a lost art. I've got like a collar that my mom crocheted. You can put it on any um, shirt or dress with a high neck, and it looks beautiful. And I've worn it with several. And I liked it so much that I bought a blouse one time that was a stretch knit pullover, and I literally crocheted a collar on it. I mean, my collar is like that wide that I crocheted all around the collar of the neck of the blouse, and I love it. In fact, I'll show it to you. Let me go get it. Oh. It might give y'all some ideas of doing some crocheting. I don't know. But this pullover blouse right here did not have a collar on it. See that collar? I literally crocheted the collar on the neck of this blouse. It's a stretch knit. And I think it turned out really pretty. It made the blouse extra special. I mean, I don't know what y'all think about it, but I love it. Even today, I'll wear it. I used to wear it to dress to church with a brown or black skirt. Because you see it's got kind of brownish colors in the shirt, in the blouse. Catherine says, wow, that's cool. Yeah, but that'll give you some ideas of what you can do with just a plain pullover blouse. Because, you know, when you put it on, the neck is kind of big and it stretches out enough that it fits. And see, I just kind of crocheted, stitched it right onto the neck of the shirt. That's the kind of stuff I like to get into. And here's one. This one was actually sleeveless. And I decided I didn't want a big sleeve on it, but I wanted a little sleeve. So I literally crocheted a sleeve on it, just a little bit of a sleeve, not much. But it added so much to that blouse just to put that on there. And I love wearing it. But you can see how it's crocheted right onto the sleeve, right onto the armpit. And I did several other ones too, where I did like crocheted around the neck of it to make the neck higher, and I put sleeves on it. I even took some and put long sleeves. I've got a red pullover stretch blouse that I crocheted long sleeves on, and I crocheted around the neck, and it turned out to be a beautiful red top to wear. Because I found if I wear a sweater, it's too hot, but I can wear maybe just the sweater sleeves with an ordinary cotton blouse, and I don't get too hot. Yeah, and that's something I came up with on my own. I didn't have any pattern. I had never seen anybody do that. But my mom gave me the idea from the collar that she crocheted for me out of this stuff. She literally crocheted a collar that opened in the front, and you could make a little tie bow in the front to hold it closed, and you could take it and wear it with anything. And I said, I like that, but I said, I think I'd rather have it crocheted right on the blouse. So that's what I did. I came up with my own pattern, my own style, and that's what I ended up with. But I think it turned out real pretty. I mean, you can see the pattern better when I put my hand under it, because it's darker. But I was real careful to try to make every row exactly the same so it looked nice. But yeah, that's just some of the things you can do with crochet, needlework and stuff. Just, you can make your own patterns sometimes, just like I did. Tamara says, beautiful and elegant. Wow, you are so talented. Well, thank you, Tamara. Yeah, like I said, I've got a red one and I had a white one. The white one I wanted to make kind of like Christmassy or for winter time. So I crocheted the neck and I crocheted long sleeves on it. And it was done with white silver crochet yarn. You know, the kind that has the silver threads in it. It's not solid silver, but it's white with the silver threads woven in it. And it turned out really pretty. And that's how you come up with one-of-a-kind items to wear. Because, you know, if you've invented it, you designed it, you made it, there's none anywhere else just like it that's going to be for sale because nobody's made it yet. And that was a big thing with me, believe it or not. Not so anymore. But that was a big thing with me when I was younger. I did not want to wear clothes that everybody else was wearing. I didn't want to be mainstream. I wanted to wear the one-of-a-kind. You know, something I designed myself and wore. Something you couldn't go in a store and just pick off the shelf and buy. Yeah, it's kind of like a shell stitch. It most certainly is. I mean, I come up with a bunch of double crochets and decided I was going to see what kind of pattern I could come up with. And that's what I ended up with, and it turned out really pretty. Such a simple thing. I haven't done any of that in a long time. Because I do have arthritis in my fingers. And I've always had the arthritis. It even bothered me when I was making those. But my hands get tired a lot faster now than they used to, making that kind of stuff. But I'll probably get back to doing some of it if my hands will still work when I get older. I'm too old to get out there and dig a hole in the yard or plant something or do floors and all this other stuff. I'll get back to crocheting something. Yeah, it's a pattern I came up with. I think I did like on the little shell, I did a loop stitch to make the loop. You know, just a chain stitch. And then to make it look like the shell here, I did 4 double crochets, and then I did 2 or 3 chain stitches in the center, and then I come back and did another 4 double crochets. And then I went on to the next row. And then every time I came around, I came into the chain stitch and did 4 more double crochets, a chain stitch for the point, and then 4 more. And it ended up making it look like a shell. Because I don't know what these stitches are called. I know what a chain stitch is. I know what double crochets are. I've done triple crochets and made stuff. Like I said, I can't read crocheting patterns or knitting patterns. I don't know what the names of all the stitches are. So I made my own up. And that's how I know nobody else has got one like it. Not unless they copy mine and make one. But you can see here, underneath it, how it's just, I took the yarn and actually sewn loops all around the neck, and then I crocheted into the loop. That's what attaches it to the collar. It's real easy to do. And then you just go around in rows and make all your rows and your stitches the same to match each section as you go around. And it lays flat on your collar or on your shirt, and you end up with a collar. Knitwear clothing is trendy. Yeah, I made tons of these shirts because maybe I didn't like something that was sleeveless, but I loved the shirt, so I'd put a sleeve in it. Or maybe I loved the shirt, but the neckline was too low, so I'd crochet a higher neckline in it. I did tons of stuff like that. And people were stopping me all the time. Where did you buy that shirt? Where did you buy that blouse? And I said, well, I bought the blouse here, but I said I crocheted this part on it myself. So I said, you can't buy it already done that way. And then a few years after that, I started seeing stores that were coming out with blouses and dresses with crochet. With crocheted necklines and arm, sleeves and stuff like that. So I started something years ago trendy, and I guess they're coming back with it now. Yeah, I keep appliances till they don't run anymore. I said that way I don't have to worry about my refrigerator. It's going to be there. The door might fall off of it. It might get so old the door will fall off, but the thing will still run. No, I'll eventually replace it. I just haven't done it yet. I said I've seen my mom replace hers several times to that one just running like crazy, and it just keeps going. And I know my mom went through at least 3 refrigerators to that one. New refrigerators. Oh, we got Jim in the house. Welcome, Jim. We always welcome our gentlemen in our chats. And I can't tell you how long it took me, because I'm not fast at doing this. If I get too fast, I'll drop stitches and I'll have to pull it out and start over. So it took me quite a while to get that done. To make it all match. But I think it just added just a little bit of flair to my blouse. And it just kind of made it extra special to put that collar on it. Well, I was going to hang this up on the chair. And you know I'm in this live chat because I keep putting off going in the yard getting that work done. I'm terrible, aren't I? Anything to put it off. I've made doll clothes, crochet doll clothes, you know. Used to you could get these dolls with the dress out this far, crocheted and just all ruffled, and you crocheted the hat and all this. I did one of those, and it turned out really pretty. And that used to be a trend for a long time. Everybody wanted one of those dolls that they could sit around their house that had that roughly crocheted gown on. Yeah, you got that right, Donna. Keep your appliances till they poop out, not before, because they're too expensive. Look, it's almost 1 o'clock, y'all. It's 15 to 1. That means I got to get busy. I got to get moving pretty soon. My eyes are tearing up from the allergies. That's from where I was out there digging in the dirt yesterday. Excuse me, y'all. I had to cough that up and get rid of it. What part of the country are you in, Jim? Jim Rockford? I don't know that I recognize your name. And if he's still with us, he may have popped in and popped out as fast as he came in. I don't know. Got Johnny James. Hi, Linda. Hope you're having. I'm having a wonderful day, Johnny James. You're another newcomer. You got Jim and Johnny James. What part of the country are you in, Johnny? Johnny James? You live in Texas? Okay, well, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm live at, is in Texas. I'm in north central Texas. You live 30 minutes from Austin. You're down there close to the coast. Yeah, I'm about an hour's drive south of or southwest of Fort Worth and Dallas. You're welcome, Catherine. Yeah, I got to get to work too. I've got a lot to do out there in that yard, and I still got my dishes to wash from this morning. I don't. I don't want those dishes there in the morning for me to wash. I want to do them now before I go outside and get busy. Well, welcome Johnny James, and welcome Rick, I think it was. See what his name was. Jim Rockford. All of you newcomers, we play trivia on Thursday night at 7 p.m. and we have prizes that we give out to the winner. So if you have time, 7 p.m. Central on Thursday, come by our trivia game. We play trivia for about 2 hours, and then we pick a winner. And the prize is usually different every Thursday. I don't know what the prize will be yet. I haven't decided. And then we have pop-up lives anytime in between Sunday and Thursday, because we always go live Sunday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and then Thursdays at 7 for our trivia. And then any other time in between that I pop up like I did today, just wanting to take a break. Okay, well, hopefully we'll see you Thursday night, if not before, for our trivia. Who knows, you may win. Depends on if you know the answers to the questions. So y'all, I'm going to let you go. I've had a good break today. It's a break much needed, but now I really need to get to work. So I'm going to chat with you later. Thank each and every one of you for spending time with me today in my chat, drinking coffee with me and just taking a short break. But now we need to get to work and get some things done. So I'll chat with you later, okay? Love y'all. Bye now.